Welcome back. I'm James, and this is Outpost Terminal. We take a look at games that sometimes get missed, and in today's case, sometimes were outstandingly well-crafted games that released a few years back and maybe didn't get quite the attention that they probably should have. So today, we are taking a look at Sable. So Sable is an open world exploration game, right? So it was developed by developer Shedworks and published by Raw Fury. It was released back in 2021 in the fall and was largely kind of inspired by Jean Giraud and Studio Ghibli work, which very much shows as we get into the game here. The founders of Shedworks are Daniel Feinberg and Gregorios Kithriotis. So both of them were kind of just like family friends who decided to partner up and start a small business after graduating in the 20-teens. So they decided that they were going to kind of work out of Kithriotis's parents' shed in the backyard, thus Shedworks. For several years, like they apparently spent time doing web development or app design work, and did like small mobile-based games to kind of learn the industry and see how the industry works. But they had always longed for working on something in architecture. I believe one of them was like a student of architecture. And so that sort of led them to want to make a game with some beautiful architecture in it. And thus, Sable was born. Now, they did not make it exclusively by themselves. They also had a writer, Meg Jayant, and they had a musician who came on board to also do original music, so Michelle Zauner. Lots of atmosphere in this game. It is, I would argue, probably one of those titles that belongs up toward the top of kind of beauty as just a concept, right? They knew what their vision was and they executed it really well. I have not seen it firsthand, so I'm going to dig into it, do kind of a first session today. So the things that I'd kind of ask for you to watch for are they use a cel-shaded aesthetic for this. So that is always a unique art style, but it creates immense depth despite being relatively flat, like as a color palette. And I think that really gives kind of that earthy, natural feel to the world. But they also do a lot with architecture in this game. So kind of keep your eyes out for those things as we play. I hope you enjoy kind of tagging along and seeing at least the beginning of Sable today. Make sure you grab yourself a coffee, tea, whatever you prefer, and we will get into it. But without further ado, let's jump into Sable. It's that first drink. That first drink is always the good spot. All right, let's check some settings real quick before I dive in. Quality's great. Maybe we'll knock the frame rate up a bit. Level of detail, may as well go with the highs. Low, medium, default, all right. Make sure it looks as nice as possible, right? Back is back. I'll assume that means backspace. Okay, excellent, excellent. And we can use a controller. I may well do that today. I have no files. Oh, that's very, very light. Let's dive in. I'm excited for this one. I really like the art style. Like, I know there are other games that use cell shading, but they create a really genuinely impressive amount of three-dimensionality out of what appear to be, we'll say 20 colors at the moment on screen, absolute max, right? All right. Oh, we stood up. Use L, in this case, left stick. We're gonna move around. The animation is actually very endearing. Like, I can totally see how if you were what I will call like hyper frame rate vigilant, you could say, oh, it's blocky, it's chunky. But actually, it kind of helps steer the user into like needing to monitor what's happening, and you almost help create that theater of the mind question. Right? Okay, we can climb on things. We look to have a kind of a stamina bar or box, which I'm hoping doesn't hurt me when I fall. Okay, we made it up the face. Hooray! All right, I did not hurt myself there. Well, let's find out what else is in here. Jumping is jumping. All right, it is not a timed button. I've become so used to in games, you step on a switch like that, like a pressure plate, and we expect you to have to run to get somewhere quickly. Like, and I have to wonder, like, what are all of these, like, what are these ruins? What do they mean? Okay. Whoops. You can climb and watch for stamina. And there's a ladder, which I'm assuming we'll need since that's a closed thing. And ladders do not require stamina. All right. Press left stick to crouch. And there goes a bird. Oh, wow. And you immediately find yourself kind of going, I'm in the world. Afraid for healing there. It is really fascinating that virtually everything is climbable. That's especially from an indie game developer. That is a lot of time. Like looking around this world, that's a lot of time spent to make play-tested, satisfactory climbing surfaces. That's a lot of effort. The jump is, in a lot of ways, fun. It's like superhumanly high. Sprint. You can sprint while you have enough stamina. Okay. And then when you run out, you run out. Oh, the balloons. Ibex Camp. The sound design, again, I feel like this is clearly a trend of mine, that like I really like quality sound design. And this has it. Like, Jotty sitting behind her mask, just as I know she can feel the teeth-bearing little grimace behind mine. Okay, I'm nervous and she's softly, sweetly amused. In her eyes, I probably have very little to worry about. You know you have nothing to worry about, don't you, Sable? And yet, I shrug, but any attempts to act casual are fruitless. The movement is jerky, and I don't think I've ever been more aware of my little shoulders. She laughs. I mean it, but I do know how you are. You're going to be nervous until you've started, and then you'll act like you've been doing it your whole life. Remember the first time you rode a bike? You wouldn't even let me put you on the seat, you were so afraid. Your hands were like little claws gripping onto me. I feel the memory in my fingers. Again, when a rider's present, a good rider, this matters. But then I promised you it was going to be all right. I told you how much I loved riding my bike as a young woman, and how wonderful the wind felt through fabric. I'm curious, can you see the whole text box? Yeah, close enough. All right, we'll leave it. Suddenly there you were, you sat down. You leaned forward and put those little grasping claws on the handles, and you were off. And I remember thinking, just watching you tear over the sand. Look at her, she can do whatever she wants. Jotty reaches out and places a hand on the edge of my mask. And you can, Sable. I take a breath. I think I'm ready. I don't know what for, but I think I'm ready. I thank Jotty for the encouragement and tell her with a nod that I think I'm ready. I know you are, so let's get you started. You'll need to talk to Halal and Dris. Dris should already have made the arrangements for your bike, and Halal will share something. Well, let's just say as useful as it is fun. I think I might suspect what Jotty's saying, but I stay quiet. After that, I suppose we'll see you off. I'll be back soon. Sable, don't go planning your return before you've even left. Take all the time you need. It's a big decision you're making out there. Tell her that's why I'm so eager to make it, to choose well and quickly, so that I don't go too far down the wrong path. Whatever you decide, you do so with my blessing. Don't try using me as an excuse to come home early, eh? She knows me. Now go speak with Halal. I'll be there to see you off. And then speak to Dris. I've told him to arrange your bike with Cizzo. But you know how he is, okay? I have something to give you, a compass to help you on your journey. It's the same one I used on my gliding, and an artifact, you might say. I take the device in my palm. It fits naturally there, perfectly weighted and crafted. Each component slides together with incredible, satisfying precision. Thank you. So if I hold that, it tells me that there are things in that direction. Okay. Hello. As I approach Halal, they give an enthusiastic wave. I've always appreciated Halal's verve and vigor, and on a day like this, I'm ready to match it, with a touch of nerves for balance. Sable, take this. A gliding stone. A small round stone. As it nestles into my palm, I feel a warmth not borrowed from Halal's hands, but emanating from within. I run my thumb over it and find it softly electric, like static on cloth. I didn't bring anything for you. He gives a tinkling laugh. Oh, Sable, you can make up for it when you return someday. What I've just given you is a gliding stone. What do you feel? I tell Halal that I feel electricity. Then you're doing it right. What you feel in that stone is openness. I look at the stone. It seems quite closed. Gliding stones are vessels for the perpetual. They suck up its power like little sponges and hold it there for you to channel. Right now, it's empty or dormant and waiting for you to fill it up. I ask how I can do this. Take it to the temple ruins at the edge of the canyon. You'll be able to activate it there. Okay. Clasps his hands twice and bobs a little. I appreciate their good mood at a time like this. Come back to me once that's done. I want to hear all about it. As I'm about to leave, Halal stops me. And you haven't gotten your bike yet. It's a bit of a trek, so go see Dris. I mean, that makes sense. I don't know what the stone specifically does. Okay, so inside of containers, which were blue, so maybe blue is a bit of a, like, color. Can I... Wow. Oh, look. This looks like an upgrade shop just waiting to happen. That or we're gonna make our bike here. Whee! Though I've told myself not to be too eager, it's all I can do to not race up to Dris. Dris is the camp manager. He's been difficult to get a hold of lately, but now I strongly suspect that he's been working on my bike in secret. Perhaps it's extra beautiful, or has some custom feature. What will its name be, I wonder? How fast will it go? Will my legs feel sore, or will I get used to it? Dris turns with a bit of a start. Sable, hello. I'll ask how he's doing. I ask how he is. I'm well. I let it hang there a moment, but I can't do it. I'm too keen, and the words spill out. I ask Dris if he might, sort of, possibly, maybe, have a bike for me. Your bike. He yells it like it's an idea he just had. Your bike. Yes, of course, your bike. That I prepared for you, because today is your gliding. Yes. Dris nods along with me. Yes, of course. Right. Yes, I do have that. My blood runs cold. Has he forgotten? By which I mean I arranged it for you. Well, it's sort of a tutorial for you. Yes, a learning experience. You see, Sable, before one can own their own bike, they must prove that they can ride a bike by taking a test ride on a different bike. I think about it, and I've never heard of that part of the gliding. But Dris does seem earnest. Sort of. So instead of worrying about your bike, I'd like you to try this bike as a test. Dris gestures to the sand cutter at his side. It's quite old and a little shabby. A tester if I've ever seen one. And he goes, really? I mean, yes, good. Be gentle, though. This sand cutter's older than Jotty. You treat her with respect. Now ride the bike through the ring and back. And here's some advice for you. Don't fall off. When you're not there, it'll appear as a blue icon. Okay. Accelerate. Where is that ring? There it is. Oh boy. It's interesting that you'd like strafe. Why? I'm not sure. Again, sound design. Very, very good. Like, there's so much rattling and bumping. Like, you don't actually see it on screen, but you know it's happening from the audio cues. And it's a great way to make the game feel even more, like, real. I return to Dris and somehow manages to seem caught off guard despite knowing I was coming. Sable, congratulations. How was your first pre-glide ride? Any strange rattles, unexplained hissing, small fires? What do you mean fires? Surely you'd notice if you were on fire, even a little bit. Yes, absolutely. That didn't happen, so I think we're fine. Is this bike dangerous? Well, have you already been by Halal? Yes. Am I not getting a bike? Well, you're getting the use of this sand cutter. That's something. You can borrow it to run your little errands. My little errands? And Halal's got something to show you too. Help you out with the mobility you're after. With my confidence in this exercise only lightly tarnished, I thank Dris very much for his help and his bike, and I depart for Halal. Okay, we're headed over here somewhere. And we have, is the 19 the day? Like, I'm assuming the diamonds are like the currency, because we've seen some of that. There's much interesting material here. It said that the thing I was headed to was somewhere this way. My guess is it's up there, that statue. Oh. I'm guessing this doesn't go up that hill easily. It did better than I thought. I don't think it wants to go there. I do really like just the feel of the world. Like there's the movement of the wind, the light breeze. Oh, there we go. Okay, there's a door here. Some kind of human butterfly? We went in here. But what is it? Oh, no. Well, that was scary. I keep forgetting that there thus far is not fall damage, and so I'm just waiting to die when such a thing happens. The slight echo on the footsteps, and they have different materials for the footsteps, which is very common. Like, it's often how games are made, but it matters here. Like, it creates kind of that echoey, empty feeling of a large building of the past. The stone thrums like the beat of a heart as I approach the altar. Am I afraid or exhilarated, or it just feels right? I'll be exhilarated. I'm ready for Rohana to show me, to know me. I'm ready to know myself. I feel her curiosity in this sacred space. I know I'm in her sight. Oh. Mm-hmm. Oh. Mm. Are the colors being added to the world? Hard telling. Maybe not. They did for a brief moment, like the saturation really went up. I got laid out by a stone and a statue. Whispering stones show Halal the activated gliding stone. Oh, so we have the ability to glide now. And that's what's going to get us back to... I'm assuming I'll be able to climb? Yeah, when I get there. I was like, if not, this is going to be sad. Ah, beautiful. Like watching these, see, like on the walls, those are, I think, intended to be the clouds passing overhead. And that's a lot of detail from a studio with a handful of people. Like that. Oh, I hope we make it. You go quite a ways. Okay. Oh, and see, the colors kind of return to this area then. And you can steer while you're in the air. The gliding. It makes sense. We're just floating our way back to the bike. The jalopy that I absolutely wrecked. I do really like it as a, like, machine. It just fits. It's kind of that Tatooine on Star Wars, like things are kind of cobbled together, and yet they're not. Like they work well, they are advanced. Oh, every time I hit that bump. Whoa. Whoa. I'm hoping we can just get back up by using the ladder. When I return to Halal, it's clear they know what I've just experienced. They're excited on my behalf in a way that makes me miss them before I've even left. Isn't it incredible? How does it feel? Exciting, it's true freedom. I tell Halal that hovering is exciting and ramble on for a moment about all the things I'll be able to do when I'm out there in the world. Most of them involve me falling on my head and not getting hurt, but I'm sure I'll come up with more in practice. You can do anything you want. Halal's mood doesn't darken, but the sigh they let out holds a bit of sorrow. You're very lucky, you know. I miss it so much, that feeling, just floating on the breeze. But I suppose it's best that it fades with age, huh? Or else I might never have come back from my gliding. I'd just be out there heaving myself into chasms. I can say I'll heave myself into chasms for you. Or is that really what you do? Or I wish we all could do it. I wish it was something we could all keep perpetually. So do I, Sable. So do I. I know people manage to keep it up, but I don't know that I've gotten the time to practice as much as they do. It takes a really serious focus. He laughs, even if there's a bit of regret in it. And I certainly haven't got that. Still, I suppose gliding wouldn't mean much if it were all gains and no loss. I think about that, but decide that there's already too much loss on my mind to consider it much further. I'm saying goodbye to my clan, my family, my home, my childhood. It really is just coming of age. To lose the perpetual is a sacrifice for another time. You're going to love it out there, Sable, even when you don't. My advice? Try to have fun. There's a lot to be said about ritual and independence and all of that out there. But the world's an easier place if you put joy first. I thank Halal for their advice and for their help and tell them I'll miss them. It'll be over before you know it. A warning and a reassurance, all in one. I say goodbye to Halal. Before I go, Halal gestures toward the tower. It seems Cizzo wishes to see me before I leave the clan. And the music being just a really wistful, light sense of kind of longing just before a departure, right? Hello, little glider. It's so strange to get called that. I tell Jotty how strange it is being called glider instead of Sable or even clan child, just trying to get you used to it. She seems to really like it, and maybe I like it too, my little glider. Postbox, logging in. Hello, Sable. Unread messages, 0. Have a good day. So that's the postbox. It looks like a pill. Steps. And hearing the birds all taking off as you go up the steps. Well, we better take some stuff from this pot. We're way up there. Cizzo is an outclanner to the Ibexi, but I've known her for nearly as long as I can recall, and I think of her more as a kind of distant relation than any sort of outsider. Machinists, I'm told, are given to their posts, and by their training and their code, must go to where they are needed. But Cizzo has been among us so long that it's easy to forget an assignment first and foremost. As far as any of us are concerned, she is one of us. I think there's a perception among the other clans that the Ibexi are quite insular, or that our designation of Ibexi versus outclanners suggests some nervous othering of those who are unlike us. But in practice, such things are more the result of our nomadic nature. We seek to know who will travel with us, and who we must leave behind. But all are welcome to join. And I'm always pleased that Cizzo did. Sable, how do you do, clan child? I can only think of one thing. I can either think, better now that I'm getting a bike, excited for my bike, or a bit worried, am I really getting a bike? Cizzo has a throaty quality to her voice, and it rumbles through her mask when she laughs. She's quite a serious person most days, and I'm always torn between pride and alarm when I manage to make her chuckle. Yes, Jotty told me how excited you were. Cizzo sniffs. She also told me Dris would be coming along to get your bike together, but I think he may have... I knew it. What? I hadn't meant to say that out loud, so I tell her I was just clearing my throat. Don't begrudge Dris his forgetfulness. Were I tasked with so many odds and ends, I might be just as scattered. And besides, this will be good for you. I want you to scavenge the hoverbike parts yourself. I'm going to make my own. Yeah, I want to. That sounds like an adventure. I tell Cizzo I like the sound of that. A little adventure before my big one. It's more meaningful than you know. To bond with one's bike before it has taken form is more privilege than labor. Here, take this. The Navigator. You can put it to mark waypoints on your compass. It should be useful in finding the old parts. I ask Cizzo where I might start looking. Our bikes are born in the ruined ships, in fragments spread apart. A good start would be the ship down there near the camp. You'll find another up that great rock near the other side of the canyon, and another behind the old dam on the hill. Use your navigator to mark that down if you need. You'll need to gather a control panel, a power supply, and a calibrator. Do most gliders make their own bikes? Only the lucky ones. I'll tell Cizzo I'll see her soon and head off in search of components. Together we will create something new out of the old. The ethos here, so good. He's right about using it. Like interesting landmarks. I mean, sure. Place a marker. The ratchet bike is down here. Can I re-pick this up once I let go? You can, okay. Can I land on the bike? Almost. So good. I fully get critical acclaim. Like, and I can see how you could chase things for days. If I remember right from kind of what I've read about the game, it's somewhere in the realm of, is it 15 hours long? So I mean, like, there's plenty to do, and I really appreciate that. I'm excited for this. All right, let's talk to the computer. A blinking light. Push the button. A voice crackles from the machinery. It sounds like a recording. Stop messing about with those buttons, you absolute idiot. Sorry, Robin. Concentrate. I don't think I have to remind you how much work it was to get this far. We're almost there. All right, let's see if that old machinist told us holds up. Well, if not, they'll be hell to pay. I hear the sound of mechanical adjustments being made. 3 clicks. Buttons being pressed, perhaps. Okay, when I push this orange thing, pull that lever. Hard. Yes, Ramen. The sound of a click and a grunt before a snapping sound. Oh, on Rohana's mask. Not that hard, you've torn it out. Suddenly the speakers are filled with static and a low rumble that gradually increases in pitch. And then the sounds of someone cheering. It worked. We're flying. More cheering. Is that the sound of someone dancing? Okay, let's focus. This thing is moving fast. We need to slow it down a bit. How do we do that? Let me check the machinist's notes. A long pause, rumbling static that started playing when the ship took off is still increasing in pitch. Ramen? The lever, Toma, the one you just ripped out. We're going too fast. We're going to crash. We need to try to... The recording cuts off there. Oops. I'm kind of learning whether pushing buttons or pulling cables is... Oh. Okay, we walked away. We're into sort of a... Oh. A child. Sima, are you looking for a calibrator? I am immediately on guard. Sima has always been a mischief maker and taken tremendous pleasure in tormenting me. I'm older, more experienced, and should be more than able to withstand it. In practice, you won't find it here. I've hidden it. You'll never find it. Never. She never fails to get to me. May I please have it? She mimics me terribly, all high and screechy. Despite my best efforts, I seethe. Oh well, too bad. Maybe you'll find it on your own, but I don't think so. Sima laughs off my irritation, but I'm not going to give her the satisfaction. I cross my arms and try to effect a change. I'll give you the calibrator. I put out my hand, proud of myself for standing tall before Sima. If you give me some beetles. That's a fair trade, isn't it? Something you want for something I want? I try to decide if it's more mature to push her over and steal the calibrator or to acquiesce, but then I simply stifle a sigh and shake her little hand. Perhaps some of the adults in the camp know where I can find some. Beetle detour. And then she's just gone. Not exactly sure where she's going. Like, this clearly looks like an upgrade shop, or where we're gonna build our... I'm trying to be gentle. Buckets. Fire, and I stepped on it. Umar is a man of few words, and he's nothing if not consistent. Not sure what the buckets are used for, but... just grabbing stuff from people who it belongs to. Uh-oh. I made it. Okay. Well, let's talk to... You know where I can find some beetles. Simon's hiding place. She spends a lot of time in the cave under the camp. You could have a look down there. She'll tell me when I get back. Something about crystal farmers. Take the atomic calibrator back from Simon, okay? The cave under the camp. Well, it's literally right here, okay? An Ibexi red dye. The dye bottle for the colors of the Ibexi red bike, okay? Well, this seems promising. Atomic calibrator. I'm guessing we're going to see Sima when we leave the cave here. I was wrong. I have most assuredly come out the wrong side without knowing it. I don't know what that space is, but I bet if we climbed up here, we could find out. One of the things is on the far side of the canyon. Go through this arch, because why not? Oh. The day-night cycle is also very pretty. Like, it adds a lot of depth to a color palette that I could see eventually feeling a little bit boring. See, like, it's really boldly contrasted right now because it's the warms of, like, the broad daylight. I'll assume we're climbing this. It's quite a ways up. Maybe we go up the sides. I could try going up that way. Maybe I just need to jump here. Save some of my climbing energy. There we go. Again, it manages to offer quite a bit of puzzle before you have, you know, more capability. And I really do like the jump and hold like mechanic for staying in the air. It removes the feeling of threat from all the very high spaces. There's a lot of elevation change in the map, and you're often climbing things that you're not really sure about. So being able to use kind of that safety mechanism, I feel like is a real benefit. So we're up here. And then in theory, we'll keep going over there. But before I do, I want to check up on top of this thing, because it kind of feels like there could be something here. And there is. Some cash money. Can I climb this thing? I may be getting a little higher start, but oh gosh, if I don't walk off a ledge. Again, it's that floating bubble just creates the sensation of safety. Atomic power supply. Oh, okay, great, we found it. I hear water? Am I wrong? Maybe it's this thing. I think it's that thing. Neat. We've been over there. Somewhere down here's my bike. Oh, a treasure chest. Cuts. A cache of 100 cuts. That must be the money. Made from metal harvesting, we have holes punched through the middle where a rope can be slid for easy and convenient transportation. I mean, that's quite a lot. Hey, and the bike's right there. Whoosh. It's like a little butterfly. It's a nice little animation to add just for kind of the realism of the world, right? Beautiful. I really think there's probably something in that upside down ship. I am uncertain whether I can do much about it. Oh, will this go up that hill? Very slowly. Will this go up this? This looks more like a rock face, so I think the answer is going to be no. And that's where we came from, but I think over here is where that ship wreck is at. That was a little closer than I expected. What is this? A gooba. A chum egg. Let's see. So they're offered to chums when planting themselves into the ground. Perfectly smooth and hard as a rock, they seem to float with how light they are. There must be a good place to deliver them. So we're just looking for where to turn them in, I guess. I hope I can climb that. I think so. There's a chum up there. Are there just going to be chums everywhere? I'm starting to think the answer may be yes. Let's see, how do we... Is the bike like right down here? It's literally at the base of this rock. Let's see if we can get up this rock. Because if we can, we'll get it while we're here. That was a close one. Chum egg. That's some really fascinating design for the sound there. It's both disconcerting, like alien, and still manages to be pretty in its own way. All right, I think we're headed then over to the dam, which I believe is this way. Please don't hit the rock. I hit the rock. I see a chest or something. Maybe that's a bone up on that hill. It looks like brush. There's a chum. I wonder how much time was spent dialing in the character speed. Like if they tweaked that at different points, because genuinely, it is very well set. You feel like you need to travel, right, to save time using the bike, but it doesn't feel like you couldn't get somewhere if the bike were, say, to glitch or somehow fail. And that's an interesting juxtaposition, because I think that's the kind of thing world building could make very difficult if you had that dialed in early and then later had to revisit it. I suspect there was a lot of time and attention given to specific movement and the timing of objectives. That's really cool. Uh-huh. Treasure chests make noise. Well, this seems promising. I like the simplicity of the dot over the area. Ow. The shaking screen is a great way to highlight, like so. I'm tempted to try and climb this. It's like if I can get high up, it's probably the best I can do. Okay. Actually made it easily. I did not fully expect that. Well, whatever the dam once held back, it does not hold back anymore. All right, this may be a bit of a picking up objects and bringing them to a spot tutorial. There we go, and a door is opened. I like that though. It's very approachable pacing. Like, I can see how if you're trying to speed run the game, this just isn't that kind of game, right? Like, it's not intended to be. Was that my part? The atomic control panel. Oh, there's literally nothing else in here. And again, I see, like I said at the beginning, we should watch for this. Kind of the architecture of these places. It's intentionally like very large places, but also they feel very traversable, right? There's very little about them that feels like impassable. And like the large structures all come with relatively straightforward like ways to get through them, right? Traversal mechanisms. Like, there is a tremendous amount of thought that has been put into this. And like, see, the fact that you can glide and easily make it right back to the door is excellent, like, level design. Whoa, doing stunts. But that should be all three parts of our bike. And my theory here is that we might be permitted to leave out through the statues or something. I guess we'll find out soon. I swear every time we go up that at the Ibex camp, we bounce off. I'm gonna put this right over here because I have theories. But yeah, like this game, I can see how if you are trying to speed run, you might be, like, you could, the traversal is fast enough that you could genuinely create a speed run for this game. Like, it is very doable. But I also see how it would be possible to like become almost too fixated on trying to speed through. So I know we're going up there to see Cizzo, but I want to see this guy because he's not easy to get to, and I have questions about why that is. Ilaria, the balloon was more fun than the person in it. I approached the cartographer. Ah, greetings, child. It's cartographer Jordan. I saw you looking longingly at my great balloon. Quite a piece of work, isn't she? She really is. I nod enthusiastically. It really is an impressive vessel, however nervous I get imagining being up there all alone. I wonder if anyone's ever fallen off of one. Best not to ask right now. Well, good to meet you. And oh, I should introduce myself. I'm Jordan. I tell him I'm Sable. Suppose if you've come all this way to see me, it's probably a map you're after, eh, Sable? I would love a map. Of course you would. That'll be 50 cuts. That's a fair price, but too expensive for a pre-gliding glider with empty pockets. I tell him I'll be back. I actually have the money. I have cuts. And I can't climb on that. Oh. Oh, there's a person there. I totally avoided that. She looks across the landscape. Zeki's shoulders sag a little. I wonder what she's thinking about. Seems weakly. I don't know how she's done it. That's Ilaria over there. I follow her gaze to a little speck in the distance, which I now understand is her daughter, Ilaria. Do you want me to get her back? She's fine. I'll get her. I'm just, parenting. I suppose I'll know more about that when I'm older. They've really captured, like, kudos to the writing effort here. Like, the sort of the essence of realizing adulthood is not always shiny, but there is great freedom in it. It's great. I return to Cizzo with the parts, and it says, she waves me over as I feel a pang of sadness. When will I see her again once I'm gone? Well done, Sable. Yes, this is everything we need. Are you ready to assemble a bike of your own? I certainly am. Oh, look. It's the bike shop. Cizzo relaxes in the workshop. It isn't that she's particularly rigid or anxious ordinarily, but there's a certain calm beauty that one only truly appreciates when Cizzo is in her element. I wonder if it's this way for all machinists. What you must understand, Sable, is that the components you acquired, they fit together, not by chance, not by effort, but by nature. They belong to her. They have always belonged to her. All we are doing is assembling her from what she has already been. I nod, and I feel a soft buzzing in my ears. Among my clan, we believe that machines have names held for ages like deep secrets, unheard by those unequipped to listen. We will find this one's name together. Gliding bike booster. Okay. Oh my goodness, gliding bike wings. Yeah, the other one didn't have wings at all. This is masterfully put together. You feel like you're engaging in a scrapyard reassembly with some simple animations, right? Pieces are there. Ships of old speak to Cizzo. Listen. She tilts her head a moment, leaning closer to Simoon. All at once I know that's the hoverbike's name, Simoon. I say it in a whisper to let Cizzo know. Simoon. C-Moon. Well done, Sable. What sort of name is that? I ask Cizzo what sort of name it is, and if it speaks to any particular clan or culture. If it does, then I do not know it. Perhaps you will find out on your journey. Cizzo shrugs, mostly to herself. Or perhaps you won't, but I hardly think it matters. You are bonded, all the same. I tell Simoon that I am eager to know her better, and Cizzo looks quite proudly at both of us. You're ready, then, for the gliding. May all the gods turn their faces from you, Sable. An odd blessing, perhaps, but Cizzo is prone to such things, and I can read in her tone that it was meant quite sweetly. You must learn to listen to Simoon, to care for her. Seek out my fellow machinists on your travels, Sable. They will teach you the art of machine whispering. And here, take this. It's the machinist badge. You'll meet plenty of my ilk on your gliding. Show them your worth, and they'll give you more badges. I thank Cizzo twice for good measure, and give a bow. I am ready. I should speak to Jotty about the final gliding ceremony. But bike? Guess not yet. Yeah, that one is so garbage compared to what we're expecting. Also, the pacing of this is outstanding. Do you have something to say? Quotes from a selection of obscure and lyrically mediocre Abexi historical ballads whenever I pass by. There is a great verse that says much about our folk. buried under sand. Is the verse buried under sand? Or the folk buried under sand? All right. I tell Jotty that the cartographer wants 50 cuts for a map. I try to hedge the way I speak about this, as I'm not entirely sure whether that's too much, not enough, or precisely its value. She tells me not to worry. Here's some money. Oh. Okay. I love how she tells you to spend wisely and a little unwisely when the mood strikes. It's good to know the value of money, but you never want to be ruled by it. I thank Jotty effusively and head out on my way. Well, now we gotta go buy a map from Dingle Dongle, where I did earlier. At least we know how to do it. There he is. I want to be a cartographer too. Greetings, child. I'll buy that map. Perfect. Let's trade then. Confirm. 50 cuts. And I have nothing to sell. I thank Jordan for the Ewer map and all its vast possibilities. Something about this makes it feel more real. Good luck on your gliding, Sable. I still remember mine. I ask how it was. Short. I knew since I was a boy that cartography was for me. But since I spent a little extra time out there just to enjoy the world. Speaking of, keeping an eye on the skies, eh? Plenty of my colleagues out there. They'll have more maps to sell from you, from Hakoa to Sodic Waste. I thank Jordan for the tip and say goodbye. Farewell, child. You've unlocked a piece of the map. So we have quests, which I've not looked at this menu yet. That's a little bit funny. The Abexi red bike. We have clothing that we can change. And that's the screen. Okay. The camp. And then there, presumably, yeah, we'll open it up to the world right there. You've unlocked a piece of the map. You can fast travel. Your hoverbike will also travel with you. Do they want me to do that here, maybe? Yeah. Fast travel. But I don't have my... my bike yet. Am I talking to Hadi again? Still heavy. What a strange day. Sable, is that a badge you've got there? I tell Jotty that Cizzo gave me the badge. Then you must have earned it. Well done. I give a bow of thanks. Well, Sable, if you keep this up, you'll be headed for the mask caster in no time. Imagine choosing what I want to be. Choosing what I want to be forever. I know what you're thinking, but don't worry about it. You'll get plenty of badges when you're out there, and once you've got 3 alike, you can trade it for that mask. But don't feel like your first mask is your final choice. The gliding is about freedom and exploration. I suggest you claim as many masks as you wish. Ah, that's such a sweet sentiment. At your final ceremony, you'll be asked to choose one. You'll have to feel it out, but when you know, you'll know. Now, the tone of her now puts the butterflies back in my stomach. With all of this done, there's only one thing left. It's time then, isn't it? Time to walk through the face door at the Temple of Rohana. There you'll assemble your gliding mask and go. There are things I wish to convey to Jotty here, depths of love and gratitude and fear and worry and hope. And though I find myself unable to speak any of it in words, I know she understands. Before you leave, child, I made you these. They're dyed with the traditional Abexi maroon, and I hope provide great comfort out in the desert. When you leave today, you will no longer be Sable, clan child of the Abexi. You will simply be Sable, and the rest will come. But no matter what you are, no matter where your journey takes you, I will always know you. I will always love you. And I will see you again. I don't know where my journey will end, but I know where it must begin. And I am ready. Oh my goodness. It says I should head to the ceremony. Is this? I don't think that's the ceremony. It's up that way. Oh, that's a marker. That's why. Okay. And right now I don't have my true glider. I just have this glider, which is fine. Whoops, I jumped on and jumped off. Oh, this also means I should be able to change into the glider top and the glider trousers. So we go back into the door. Oh, the door's open this time. Clever. And we walk in through the mask door. Okay. Okay, there's switches. Oh, so good. There's a treasure chest over there. I think that side is probably the right side to get to it from. So we place part of the mask on her head. Okay. Oh, we're gonna come back to right there for sure. Again, beautifully architected world. Oh no. There we go. I was like, not ideal. So we're at the mask. We're gonna have to go up elsewhere, because I bet we can't get up that. That's at least my theory. I tried. That's funny. Oops, I kind of missed again, but I think we'll be able to catch this and just walk around it. That's great. It also, like, by giving you the glide capability, it makes you much more comfortable with, like, taking leaps of faith. Some more cuts. There we go. I don't know if we'll make this or not. We're gonna try. There we go. We did. So there's like the Mothman, the archer, and then like a soldier, a masked person. I can only imagine. We're just gonna climb this. This like scratches that itch of archaeology meets architecture. Like there's a little Indiana Jones-ness in it. But it is adventure. It is adventure and exploration. Okay, and then the crown is placed upon its head. And all the masks are populating. I was waiting for the color to like soak into the mask. The gliding, an Ibexi mask. Well, we have to put it on for sure. We return to the camp for the ceremony. I think it is the time of day, is that number down by the sun. See, it's an 8. It was just a 7. We'll see if it turns into a 9 or a 10 by the time we go. Again, very good level design that you basically ran straight out. Where did I put the, is it down here? I guess my bike is now gone. That's still 8. Maybe it was day 8 is beginning? I don't know what the day-night cycles are yet. All right. I actually very much appreciate the animation being what it is. It adds a unique style to it. It's something that hasn't been the case in so many other games. Logging in. Hello, Sable. Jotty's voice echoes strangely through the machine, but it still warms me. Well, Sable, this is it. By the time you hear this, we will have gone. The gliding is a journey that must begin alone. There is a certain nuance lost in transmission, and for that, I'm grateful. It would be far too much to hear the cracks in her voice and not run weepily into her arms to stay forever. But I am ready, and so I close my eyes and listen. But though you go by yourself, you are not without friends. You are not without family. You are not without love. These things you will always carry with you, as you do your mask. And I know I'm not supposed to do this, but if I were you, I might go see Yutari. They're the machinist at Burnt Oak Station and among Cizzo's closest friends. Yutari's a good contact to have on one's gliding, and a fine way to get another machinist badge if you're so inclined. Only a suggestion, though. As for us, I'll send another message once we've returned to the ewer, so keep an eye on the post boxes, and try not to forget us. She takes a long breath, and I forget that things as easy as breathing could ever exist. The world is waiting, Sable. Good luck. Leave the canyon. Oh. Alright, this one looks much better shaped than the other one. Oh. And out the canyon we go. I'm guessing this is title screen. As it should be if it is. Oh, this deserves more playtime. Absolutely it does. Awesome. I feel like this is a great spot to pause and let me know in the kind of comments. Go ahead and throw a like on it. Subscribe if you're not, if you're interested in this content. But I really look forward to seeing kind of where this goes. I for sure will be returning to the game. The question will be kind of how soon or what kind of time we have to make for this, but wow. What a beautiful setup. I fully understand why this game got all the acclaim. I am very much looking forward to enjoying the story and seeing where it goes. With that said, thanks so much for joining. Hope you enjoyed your beverage this morning. And we'll catch you next time.